What's up, everybody? Mr. Diaz is back for another Read Aloud. Of course, we are reading Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's library, and today we're going to be knocking out chapters 16 and 17. I'm really excited. We're getting into like the middle of the book. We are 75 pages in. There are like, I don't know, 280 pages total, so we're like a third of the way, fourth of the way in. So we're making progress here, starting to get good. So let's get into it. But before, as always, we have an assignment. All right. I know it's your favorite part. Maybe not, but I think it's good. And I think overall, I must say, you guys are doing a really excellent job on these assignments. I'm seeing growth from one assignment to another. Make sure you always check your comments because I will always leave you feedback on these. Kind of give you an idea of what I'm looking for. All right. Some of you guys are starting to get to the point where I'm kind of just saying, "Wow, what a great job!" because it's perfect. And then that just means we need to start making these a little bit more challenging in some ways for some of you, which we will. So maybe one more week of this, and if I see continued mastery, we'll add, and especially by a lot of you, we'll add a little ripple to it. But overall, you guys are doing a great job. Some of us are still getting the basics of it, and that's okay. Regardless, we are all as a collective unit working hard and doing, I think, for the most part, 99 or 95% of you doing everything you can. All right. Okay. So we're starting with our prediction. Remember, we've already read 15 chapters, so we have a lot under our belt. We know a lot of information about this story. We know the characters. We know the setting, where it's taking place. We know the plot. We know like what the kind of general overview of the story is, what's happening, the problems, any solutions. So just wanted to kind of give you that feedback and get you thinking about what you think will happen in this next chapter. Okay, remember when you say what you think is going to happen, remember to include both the actual details of what you think will happen and why you think it will happen. Okay, so I think in chapter 16, I think that Kyle and Akimi and whoever else are going to do these things, or I think Charles Chiltington is going to do this, or I think the robotic or the animated Mrs. Tobin is going to do. Whatever you think is going to happen, Mrs. Zinchenko, Mr. Lemoncello, use specific names, use specific names of places that they might be within the library, like the Rotunda Reading Room or wherever they may be, from what you remember. And the more details you're able to include, the more you show me that you understand. And then also include the reasons. So why did you think that? Well, I thought that because in chapter 14 or in chapter 12 or back in the story, or I know that the name of the title of the book is this, whatever it is. All right. Okay. Go ahead and write it down. I'll give you some time. Well, I guess you can just pause your videos. And then to pause it, whenever you're ready, turn it back on, ready to go. All right. Chapter 16. Oh yeah, I gotta. My bad. Getting a little ahead of myself. Just remember. I'm so excited to read. I really am. But just remember, you got some questions. All right, you got some questions you got to answer. Sorry, you got some questions you got to ask first about the story. Again, these can be anything you're wondering about the story, anything that's kind of confusing, that doesn't make sense, or it could be comprehension questions, like questions you are quizzing someone else on, quizzing someone on the class about details in the story if you have no actual questions, okay? All right, and then down here you have comprehension questions. All of them are short response, like normal, where you need to restate the question in the answer. So for example, what are the 3 lifelines? You don't just say what the 3 lifelines are. You first say, the 3 lifelines are this. You don't just say that they don't just say the 3 things that they are. Or when must the exit from the library be completed? The exit from the library must be completed by, okay, now you don't just say when, all right? Except for on this question. This is a multiple choice question. So all you're going to do is you're going to write down what you think the correct letter to the answer is right here. Okay? All right, ready to go. Chapter 16. Rocky had done its job. Kyle and everybody else locked inside the library was definitely awake. Even Charles Chiltington had come down to the Rotunda reading room from Mr. Lemoncello's private suite. The only essay writer not with the group was Sierra Russell, who, Kyle figured, was off looking for another book to read. "We're all still locked in," squealed Haley Daly. "This is so lame," added Sean Keegan. It's like 11:30. I've got things to do, places to be." "Look, you guys," said Kyle. They'll probably open the front door after we eat or something." "Well, where's that ridiculous librarian?" says Charles Chiltington, who was never very nice when there weren't adults in the room. "Yeah," said Rose Ramette. I can't stay in here all day. I have a soccer game to go to." "And dudes," said Sean Keegan, "I have a life." "Do you children require assistance?" said a soft, motherly voice. It was a semi-transparent, holographic image of Mrs. Tobin, the librarian from the 1960s. She was hovering over a few inches off the ground in front of the center desk. "Yes," said Kayla Corson. "How do we get out of here?" "Yes," said Kayla Corson. "How do we get out of here?" The librarian blinked. "The way a second-hand calculator, the one your oldest brother dropped on the floor a billion times, does when it's figuring out a square root." "I'm sorry," said the robot librarian. "I have not been provided with the answer to that question." "Will we be doing any brunch this morning?" Chiltington asked politely. "I'm not hungry, but some of my chums sure are. After all, it is 11:30. The kitchen staff recently placed fresh food in the Book Nook Cafe." "Thank you, Mrs. Tobin," said Chiltington. "Would you like anything? A bowl of oatmeal, perhaps?" "No, thank you, Charles. I'm a hologram. I do not eat food." "I guess that's how you stay super skinny." Kyle shook his head. The schmarmy guy was oilier than a soggy sack of fries. He was even sucking up to a hologram. Chiltington and the others trapezed off to have breakfast, but Kyle and Akimi stayed with the holographic librarian. I have a question," said Kyle. "I'm listening." "Is the library lock-in over? Are we supposed to go home now?" "Mr. Lemoncello will be addressing that issue shortly." "Okay, thanks, Mrs. Tobin." "You are welcome, Kyle." After the librarian faded to a flicker, Akimi said, "By the way, Kyle, before we leave, we need to check out that room I slept in last night." "The boardroom?" "Yeah, they call it that because, guess what? It's filled with board games." "All limoncellos?" "Nuh-uh. Stuff from other companies. Some of it goes back to the 1890s. I think it's Mr. Lemoncello's personal collection. It's like a museum up there." Kyle's eyes went wide. "You hungry?" he asked. "Not really. We ate so much last night." "You think we have time to check out this game museum?" "Follow me." The two friends bounded up a spiral staircase to the second floor, where they found another set of steps to take them up to the third. When he entered the boardroom, Kyle was blown away. Wow! The walls were lined with bookcases filled with antique games, tin toys, and card games. "This is incredible." "I guess," said Akimi, "if you like games." Kyle smiled, "Which, I do." They spent several quiet minutes wandering around the room, taking in all the wacky games that people used to play. There was one display case featuring 8 games with amazingly illustrated box tops. A tiny spotlight illuminated each one. Wonder what's so special about these games, said Kyle. Maybe those were Mr. Lemoncello's favorites when he was a kid. Maybe. But the slogan etched into the glass case confused Kyle. Luigi Lemoncello, the first and last word in games. But these aren't Lemoncello games, he mumbled. The first spotlighted game in the case was Howdy Doody's TV game. After that came Husker Du, You Don't Say, Like Minds, Fun City, Big Six Sports Games, Get the Message, and Rough and Ready. It's a puzzle, Kyle said with a grin. I thought they were games. They are, but if you string together the first or last word of each game title, you tip the glass in front of the first box on the bottom shelf, you get the message. Really? Said Akimi, sounding extremely skeptical. You're sure it's not just a bunch of junk somebody picked up for like 50 cents at a yard sale? Positive. Kyle pointed to each box top as he cracked the code. Howdy. Do you like fun games? Get ready. Miguel Fernandez barged into the boardroom. Here you are. We need you guys in the Electronic Learning Center now. Why? Charles Chiltington wolfed down his breakfast, then raced up here to finish the game he started last night so he can enter his name as the first high scorer. So, the game he's playing is all about medieval castles and dungeons. This time Akimi said it. So, he's escaping through the sewers. The game has a smell-o-vision. You ever smell a medieval sewer? Trust me, it is foul and disgusting. The three of them dashed up the hall and entered the stinky room where Charles was sitting in a vibrating pedestal chair, thumbing his controller. As his avatar sloshed through a sewer pipe, the subwoofers built into his seat made very squish and splat rumble across the floor. Whoa, said Kyle. Knock it off, Charles. Charles, you're pumping out total tear gas. Because I'm in the sewers underneath the horse stables. It's the secret way out of the castle. I'm going to win another game. That's 2 for me, Keely. How many for you? Yo, said Miguel. This room is 2 stories above the cafe. The ductwork is connected. What's your point? You're making everybody's food downstairs smell like horse manure. Who cares? I'm winning. Charles' chair went flump again, but this time Kyle smelled pine trees, like one of those evergreen air fresheners people hang inside their car. This stupid thing is broken. Charles jumped out of the chair and reared back to kick it. I wouldn't do that if I were you, said Kyle. Why not? Because there's a security camera over there and it's aimed right at you. What? Where? See the blinking red light? Suddenly, an image of Kyle pointing up at the camera lens appeared on every video screen on the Electronic Learning Center until he was replaced by Mr. Lemoncello. Good place to pause, write down some questions, and see if you can't maybe answer a few of those short answer responses or the multiple choice. Okay, 17, let's roll. Excellent escape plan, Charles, said Mr. Lemoncello on the video screens. Thank you, sir, said Chiltington, smoothing out his khaki pants. And just so you know, I saw an ant crawling up the side of this seat. That's why I almost kicked it. How very thoughtful of you, Charles. Mr. Lemoncello, said Akimi. Yes? How come the sewer started smelling like a pine tree? Because I enjoy the odor of pine trees much more than the stench of horse poop. How about you? Definitely. Now then, will everybody else please join us upstairs in the Electronic Learning Center? I have a very important announcement to make. Kyle heard feet clomping up the stairs, and soon Andrew, Bridget, Yasmin, Sean, Haley, Rose, and Kayla hurried into the room. Are we all here? Said Mr. Lemoncello. Everybody except Sierra Russell, said Kyle. Ah, yes. I saw her downstairs reading When You Reach Me by Rebecca Steed. We'll reach her later. It's nearly noon and I'm eager to move on to the next round of our competition. What competition? Asked Yasmin Smith Snyder. The one we are about to begin. Sir? Said Sean Keegan. I have stuff to do today. That's fine, Sean. You are, of course, free to leave. If any of the rest of you do not wish to stay and play, kindly deposit your library cards in the discard pile. A tile on the floor popped open, and an empty goldfish bowl atop an ornate column rose up about 3 feet. Just drop it in the bowl there, Sean. Attaboy. Follow the flashing red arrows on the floor to the nearest exit, where you'll receive a lovely parting gift along with my everlasting admiration for your essay writing abilities. Bright red arrows danced across the floor. Sean followed them. What happens if we decide to stay? Said Akimi. You will be given the chance to play a brand new, exciting game. Is there a prize for the winner? Demanded Haley Daly. Oh, yes. Now Miguel shot up his hand. Mr. Lemoncello, what do we have to do to win? Simple. Find your way out of the library using only what's in the library. Awesome. Lame, mumbled Kayla Corson. I'm out of here. She plunked her library card into the fishbowl and followed the blinking arrows out the door. Does anyone else want or need to leave? Sorry, sir. I have soccer at 2, said Rose Vermette. See you guys later. She dropped her card into the discard bowl. The instant she did, bells rang, confetti fell from the ceiling, and every electronic console in the game room started ding, ding, dinging. Congratulations, Rose, cried Mr. Lemoncello, who put on a pointy party hat. For sticking to your prior commitments, you will receive our special prior commitment sticker prize, a complete set of Mr. Lemoncello sticker picture games and a laptop computer to play them on. Enjoy! Charles Chiltington stepped a little closer to the security camera as Rose Vermette skipped out of the room. Sir, might we assume that the prize for winning your brand new game will be even better than a laptop computer? Yes, said Mr. Lemoncello, taking off his party hat. You may so assume. I'm in. Me too, said Kyle. Me too, added Akimi, Miguel, Andrew, Bridget, Yasmin, and Haley. Sierra Russell wandered into the room. Her nose was buried so deep in her book she didn't even notice Mr. Lemoncello's gigantic face on all the video screens. Is something going on? She said, mostly to her book pages. You bet, boomed Mr. Lemoncello. Sierra's head snapped up. Oh, hello, sir. Greetings, Sierra. Sorry to interrupt your reading. Just have a quick question. Will you be staying or leaving? Well, sir, I'd like to stay, if that's okay. Okay. It is Wondermiss. Another word I just made up. Now then, to read you the rules of the game, because every game needs rules, here is your friend and mine, Dr. Yanina Zinchenko. The video screen switched to a close-up of the librarian with the red hair and glasses. Your exit from the library must be completed between noon today and noon tomorrow, said Dr. Zinchenko. Mr. Lemoncello's head popped into a corner of her screen. Tomorrow is my birthday, by the way. Mark your calendars. And he ducked back out of the frame. Our security guards will continue holding your cell phone, said Dr. Zinchenko. You may not use the library computers to contact anyone outside the building. You may, however, use them to conduct research. You may also request 3 different types of outside assistance. 1, ask an expert, 1, librarian consultation, and 1, extreme challenge. Please be advised, the extreme challenges are, as the name implies, extremely difficult. If you pass the challenge, your reward will be great. However, if you fail, you will be eliminated from the competition. Kyle figured he'd avoid asking for one of those unless he extremely needed to. To use any of these lifelines, Dr. Zinchenko continued, simply summon Mrs. Tobin. Chiltington raised his hand. Yes, Charles? Would you mind telling us what the prize will be for the winner? The video screen switched to an image of Mr. Lemoncello, who had done some sort of quick change. Now he was wearing sunglasses and had a silk ascot tucked into his shirt collar. He looked like a flashy Hollywood movie star from 1939. Fame and glory. The winner will become my new spokesperson and will star in all of my holiday promotions. Will be famous? Gushed Yasmin, fluffing up her hair and smiling at the security camera. Haley stepped in front of Yasmin. I've done some modeling work for Sherman's Shoes in Old Town. Yasmin stepped in front of Haley. I was an extra in a hot dog commercial once. Well, I'm a cheerleader. Yasmin isn't. While the two girls continued primping and posing for the camera, Dr. Zinchenko came back on screen to quickly rattle off some final words. Your library cards are the keys to everything you will need. The library staff is here to help you find whatever it is you are looking for. The way out is not the way you came in. You may not use any of the fire exits. If you do, an alarm will sound and you will be immediately eliminated from the game. For safety purposes, you will be under constant video surveillance and you will be recorded. In the unlikely event of an emergency, you will be evacuated from the building. Creating an incident that requires evacuation will not count as having discovered a way to exit the library. Any questions? Just one, said Andrew Peckelman, adjusting his goggle-sized glasses with his fingertips. When exactly will the game begin? Mr. Lemoncello's face reappeared on the screens. Good question, Andrew. Oh my, it's noon. How about, let's say, I don't know, now? All right, you guys, go back and finish those questions. Make sure you come up with your own questions, and then you go back and you finish those questions. Please, please, please restate the question in the answers, like I just said in the beginning of the video. If you forgot what I said, just go back to the beginning of the video and find it. All right, you guys, have a great day. And as always, I'm open for any questions that you have. Take care, everybody.